make sure because it's like 10 a.m. here.
I love it.
But I'm like, let me make sure my voice doesn't sound crazy.
I know. I got my little beverage here with me. I'm going to hit go and let all the lovely guys and gals come in.
Cool.
Yay. I'm going to put you actually over here. Perfect. That way they're nice and close. All right. How is everyone doing? Casual double success story in a week. By the way, Kay, did you see the success story like 2 days ago, by the way, just for funsies? I'm just curious, did you see it?
With the money?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Isn't that hysterical?
She was funny.
She was a mood. I was like, really. I was like having a good time with her.
Yeah, she was really good.
She was fun. Hi, everybody.
She one of your coaching clients?
She was my dad's coaching client.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's my next step.
I can't wait for you to get into that level. It's going to be so fun. Especially because you've transformed so much in like literally a digital program that like the next step, you know what I mean? It's going to just really set everything on fire.
Oh, I know. I'm already like, in my head, I'm already doing it. So.
Already in.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, Dee. Hi, Sarah. Hi, everybody that's jumping on. We have a success story again today. If you weren't here for us, the success story a few days back earlier in the week, you really missed out. You got to go to YouTube and you got to check that one out. But not right now because we have another one here with us. The lovely lady that I have brought on today. Hi, Alicia. Hi, everyone jumping on. She has a self-concept transformation success story. I believe, if I am correct, she came into my world and purchased my self-concept mini course, the self-concept experience. Hi, Dia. Hi, Danielle. So she got my little baby digital self-concept course, which, I mean, is incredibly knowledgeable and really in depth. And I think in just 2 to 3 videos, she was already getting movement out the butt. And so I'm excited for her. And this is like, I believe, a 7-module course plus a workbook. So I'm excited for her to come on and share her experience of what it's like to be inside of one of my programs. If you have questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, drop it down in the chat and I'll pick out the ones that are the most prominent and ask her while she's here. But she has already gotten such amazing success and I want to kind of let her share her story and her experience. So to kind of start us off, my love, I want to like get a really good baseline of where you were before you even came into my space, before you even knew about little old me. So why don't you tell everyone as it pertains to like, where were you, right as you were coming into my world? Like, what were your experiences like with manifestation, whether it be with other content creators, courses, anything like that? Like, I want to give us a good baseline of, where you were pre-Persis, before Christ, okay. BC, like BP, like before Persis.
Okay. Yeah, I was, I actually manifested a lot of things on my own last year, just by kind of like speaking them out. I do a lot of speaking out, like, hey, angels, guides, I need, help me with this. That's actually how I found you. I literally said, like, one night, I said, okay, please, to my guys, I said, show me the person that's really going to help me. And I go on YouTube the next day. I'm literally on YouTube all the time. It's like, it's my TV, basically. I've never seen your video before, ever. Never came up on my feed. And then I saw you. And I follow a lot of content creators in this world, in this attraction, spiritual assumption world. And I never saw you on my feed. Next day, saw you. You were, I don't know what video it was, but you said, I'm going to need you guys to get your head out of your butt.
That's a really good starting video to have when it comes to me. Oh my God, I'm obsessed. That was the video that you saw. Wait, that must have been one of the longer ones then. Was that a longer one?
I love a long form video. Like,
Okay.
I'll skip a 3 minute in a second and be like, oh, an hour, great.
I love that.
Yeah.
I
So
love that.
before that, I was getting things, but they weren't lasting.
Got it.
And so I was like, I know I believe in myself. I know I can get these things, but they're not lasting.
Yeah.
And I'd never heard of self-concept before. And
you didn't hear from self-concept despite all these creators?
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
I know. Now it kind of makes me a little angry. I'm like, they should just not stop. Like, they're probably doing more harm than good at this point.
Quit tomorrow.
Seriously. Like, because I actually had a coach. It was like email coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I was excited about doing it. And I even asked this person, I was like, hey, look, I'm an overthinker. I have ADHD. What's like the science behind all of this?
Oh gosh, and, I've got such a good story. Please keep going. Please keep going. I'm already so excited about this conversation.
I kind of want to send you the email because I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Like it's just like annoying to me actually at the point. And the person responded and was like, yeah, you should totally like look up the science of it. I'm like, dude, I'm paying you to do it.
That's hysterical. 2 second sidestep. Wait, was there something more to that? Tell me.
No, I was just like
frustrated.
I can't just, and I was like, I can't just like, I'm not a delusional
manifester.
Like, I love science. I need to know why this is gonna work.
Yeah.
And so I have to say my self-concept, I started myself off kind of lower than what I probably really was. I started myself at a 5.
Yeah.
When I probably was like a 6.5 or something, just to make sure that I didn't have any like little critters hanging around.
Yeah, I get that.
Really. So that's kind of where I was, and frustrated. And this was only a few weeks ago. Like,
this was a few weeks ago. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because once I put my mind to something, I work pretty fast, and I get like, thankfully for the ADHD, like I get obsessive with things, and that's usually how I get things. So this was literally like, I haven't even finished. I'm not coaching with this person anymore, but because I'm like, well, I don't need you. So, yeah.
You're fired is basically what she said. She's like, she just became the Donald. You're fired. You're a joke. Shut your shop tomorrow. Okay, hang on. So for 2 seconds, I want to actually give a really, really relevant story and add on to this. And I'm curious who relates to this experience, because this experience is actually what birthed my page. So for those of you who do not know, like way back in the day, like 2022 May, I started posting on TikTok, and I always had a lot of science, spirituality, manifestation knowledge in my big noggin, but I never just thought about like putting it out there. Like, I realized I was a really good person to teach and convey knowledge about manifestation, but I was not able to get it to work for me, because nobody was teaching and really preaching self-concept. And so when I would go out there and potentially even pay money to other email coaches and things of that nature, which I really don't even count as coaching, like that's not actually coaching in my books, not in any way, shape, or form. Like nobody knew anything. Like, you'd think that, as terrible as it is to say, like what I think my great grandpa used to say is like, you'd think they got their degree out of a Cracker Jack box, because they didn't know Jack, and the Bean Man. And so the only videos that were out there, God bless, rest in peace, my great grandfather, because he's a legend. You would think that the only videos that are out there are just be delusional to get success, be delusional to get success. My page started as manifestation for the overthinkers, for the people who can't just be delusional and be successful. Because at the end of the day, I was trying to practice these delusional random techniques that coaches would post online, and it would get me jack shit and the bean man. Like, I was doing these random freaking techniques for 3 years. I never got an ounce of movement in 3 years. And so one of my biggest gripes in the manifestation community was that there was nobody really teaching the science and spirituality of manifestation. So I came over on TikTok and I started to take the intersection, and I couldn't find it anywhere. There was no coach talking about this. There was no teacher on any platform that I was on, and I'm on all of them. And so I started to get increasingly frustrated. I was like, it can't just be because my brain doesn't do this that I'm like the one that gets robbed of success. So I literally was a student, was a follower, like how you guys were. And then I just decided to get my own little honorary degree in manifestation. I started to read every science journal article out there. I started to study neuroscience and neuroplasticity. I started to study like how brains form neural pathways in the brain. And I took this very unique angle on TikTok of manifestation for the overthinkers, teaching and marrying science with spirituality, and along with my manifestation equation. And things just took off to the moon. I didn't realize, like, I literally just thought, as silly as this is to say, I was just like the defective one. Like, I was just the broken one that like manifestation couldn't work for. So I was actually utterly shocked to see that there were so many other people that felt the same way, that they were not able to be delusional and be successful, that they were struggling with X, Y, or Z. I feel like if we know the science of manifestation, it allows us to trust the process a lot more. And when you have a more thorough, educated background around the science of manifestation, and when you're told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, it sets you up for the maximum amount of success, to a point where all you need to do is now just apply it, which is really hysterical. So it's funny because when I had gotten coaching with one of these coaches, like, they didn't have answers to any of my questions. They were just like, you don't need to worry about that. And there have been so many clients that have come to me and have kind of just like ratted on so many coaches. And then like the only thing I was told was like, just persist. You don't need to understand that. Just persist. You don't need to understand that. Which it's nothing wrong with that. You know, maybe they have the knowledge, maybe they don't have the knowledge, but it's just hysterical to me that she's mentioning this, because this is literally what birthed my page. It was my own internal frustration at the lack of education, knowledge, understanding, and background that so many people had, that there was just this one angle, and it's delusion. If you can't be delusional, well, then you might as well just go like, you know, lay face down in a ditch, apparently, is what it felt like back then, because there was literally nothing out there to literally help anyone else. And so, yeah, now we're like rocking with over like, I think 200,000 people on all platforms. So I'm really happy to know that you found me and that things resonated with you. Please keep going. I didn't want to take over so much, but like, that's just so interesting. It's so interesting.
I love it, because every time you go on your rants, I always learn something new. So same. I thought I was defective. I thought something was wrong with me, and that's actually like a self-concept thing, even with myself. That I was like, why is my life like this? I'm a good person.
Yeah, I relate.
People see that I'm capable of doing all these things, but why is my life like this right now? And I'm a little older. I'm 39, and I just got like super frustrated.
I swear you're 21 by your pictures. I swear to God you're a student. Don't be messing with me. We're not starting this relationship on lies. I am totally looking at your picture now and stalking the hell out of you. Oh my gosh. There is no way. Okay, keep going. I'm just going to let these lies happen. I'm just going to let this slide, you know?
I'm 21 in my head. But
okay. Yeah, it shows in your picture too, I swear.
So yeah, like I'm like super decades of just not thriving.
Yeah.
But just, yeah. So anyways, so I found you obsessed with all your videos for like a week. And then actually, I didn't tell you, I actually bought your journal first. So your
do you love it?
Journal, I like.
It's so good.
it's almost like intimidating. I'm like, she has something different on every freaking page. I don't understand how you did that. Like, so I put the journal, I found out my self-concept number through the journal. And then, because I'm guided always to the best things, the same day my journal arrived is when you put the self-concept experience course back on sale.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what I need. So literally the same day I got the journal is when you put the course on sale. And I was like, okay, I'm getting that right away. So the journal's kind of to the side because I'm going to use that for money.
Makes
specifically.
sense.
So because if I get too much information, then
I know.
But so I started the course. I had a rocky first week because it was my birthday week, and I used to have kind of a weird triggers stuff going on with my birthday. So I was looking at 3D too much with my birthday week with the course. And I was like, this is so much. I thought I was supposed to be getting praise and all this kind of stuff. But I'm like, Makia, chill out. I did the first module and a ton of information. Honestly, I've looked at least 4 videos, and I keep going back to certain videos and hearing different things and understanding different things. So that's amazing to me because you do mention that happens. So, but when I go back and I hear something, I'm like, man, okay, I get that now.
Yeah. In these videos, it's so common. It's so common. I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you're in a program of mine, you better listen to the same video at least 3 to 4 times because the thing is like the level of spiritual knowledge and just even neuroscience understanding that you'll have, like it'll grow with time. Like one thing about me is you come to me when you want to learn the information and the education around manifestation. And when it comes to these things, like what's important to consider is like if you guys have ever been frustrated on you're trying to take some external action, but the external action really isn't working and you're ready to finally take a subconscious, belief approach. Like people come to me when they've been taking action for a long time, but it's not getting them jack, in the bean man. And now they're like finally open and ready to do some belief work when it comes to the subconscious. And I tell people, I'm like, listen to it again because I'm speaking in such a deep manner. And one thing about me is you're not going to leave a program of mine and not be wildly educated because the one thing I pride myself in is just education and knowledge. And so each program has its own little creative design of the knowledge that I share. Some go in way more depth. Like as an example, this month I've brought back for the month of March, due to the amount of success stories that we've hit a new milestone in the business that I've brought back Manifestation University. And that's like the real beacon of knowledge. Like you go into Manifestation University when you want to change your whole freaking life. Because when you go into there, you're going to learn about the science, the spirituality, you're going to learn about the equation. And the equation is the thing that helped people get the 3 billion in 30 days, the 200K in 30 days, the 1 million, the 5 million, the success stories with health, HIV, cancer, autoimmune, the success with love, 21 days met her soulmate, 30 days met her soulmate, 90 days met her soulmate. And these people later got married and had kids and had babies. And so this manifestation, like if you have knowledge, exactly how Erin says in the comments, when you have knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is like the real power because there are a lot of people that also have knowledge, but they don't do anything with it. Having knowledge but not applying it doesn't count. Having knowledge and applying it but still engaging in bad behaviors also doesn't result in any type of outcome. So you've got to have a very elevated mindset of I'm ready to come in, I'm ready to do the work, I'm ready to put my head down, I'm ready to give up the things that are causing blockages and frustration and not allowing me to go ahead in my life. I'm ready to look at things differently. I'm ready to see things with more of like a scientific curiosity, be open-minded, ready to apply, ready for change. And you know what I mean? These are the types of people that set records in my world of like they got success in an hour, in 24 hours, in 8 hours. Like the more open you are and the more willing you are to drop your BS at the door, the quicker and the faster things shift. But the problem is we tend to be, humans are creatures of habits, and we fight for our limitations and we fight for the bad behaviors. And similar to if I'm a smoker, I'm going to have an addiction to smoking. If I have an addiction to knuckle popping, I'm going to do it almost unconsciously, and it's an addiction. And so when it comes to, breaking habits like checking the 3D, doubting every time, like spiraling, these different types of things, they're addictions that have to be broken. You can't have your 3D addiction and have your results too. That's just not the way that things work. And she would have not also been able to have been successful if she was still engaging in bad behaviors.
Yeah. I've had your intrusive thought, the brain reframe.
Oh my God. That exercise is so good.
Yeah. I did it. I didn't tell you about this, but I did that yesterday morning because I had a what would have been a spiral moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I changed the outcome of what would have been someone else's reaction to what I needed to tell them. I know I did because I know this person so well and how they react to things. So I was able to calm myself down, reframed it. I literally said very compassionate things to myself in my head. And I said, no, this person has compassion for me. They appreciate me. They appreciate the honesty. They love me. And I had the conversation 4 hours later. Verbatim, they said, I appreciate you telling me that I thank you for being honest. And they were I was almost staring at them are you for real?
Did you just tell me that? Did I just do that?
Because they never say stuff like that to me. So I was wow, that's crazy. Even how my body reacted to the information when I first got it was totally different because I deal with anxiety. So I get panic attacks sometimes. And my body, I have a mild reaction.
The way that something's
working.
Yeah, the way something is changing is when you're able to be presented with the same trigger and you react differently. That's how you know you've moved through the trigger. And the brain correction exercise that she's talking about, it's a scientifically backed, psychology-based exercise that I invented, I created, and I put it into the self-concept experience, and I have a more thorough, in-depth, bigger version in Manifestation University. The people that use it and use it religiously are able to detail that there is a decrease in their intrusive or, those types of thoughts in just 48 hours. Their intrusive thoughts are cut in half.
That's one of my things I have is getting less triggered by situations.
Yeah.
Even this live, that was a side thing. I was I want to be on one of her lives. And when you reached out to me, I was already?
Really? Are you sure?
My credit went up.
I love that.
Overnight, to be honest.
Overnight? That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm dealing with financial issues right now, so there should be no other reason my credit went up. I've been in therapy for 4 years. My therapist a week ago was have you thought about not having to come in for 4 times a month now? And she's never ever said anything like that, never brought that up.
Everyone tells me that. Everyone's Persis, I'm going to leave my therapist for you. And I feel that's so flattering because so many people report the same things. They're I had another girlie who had struggled with bipolar and just different types of mental health illnesses. And she came in and she's She's like, I have not seen like this transformation in anyone. Like, what are you doing? And she didn't feel comfortable telling her what she was doing. Amazing. But it was hysterical.
Oh, I told mine too.
Oh, you did? That's funny.
Oh, yeah, I told her, I was like, because she knows I'm into stuff like this. And I was like, look, you're just going to have to deal with that.
I found this girl on TikTok and,
Yeah,
I love it.
But like, even like the course, just to get back to like the value, it's just really unmatched. And I'm a course, like I'll buy a course. Honestly, yours is probably the most expensive I've bought, but I'm so glad I bought it. I just knew because of the journal was amazing that I was like, if this journal is like this, I can't imagine what her course is like. And I was like, of course I was right. Cause it's, I'm not even done with it yet. And it's just been like, it's changed me so much. I love the questions that people ask because there are questions that I would be asking myself during the course. So that was super helpful. I'm glad that there's 2 videos in there with questions and answers.
Yeah,
that's super helpful too. What else? It's also, if you're really trying to change, I have to say that I've been checking myself like in a real way this last couple of weeks too. Like my affirmations, I've probably changed them up 3 or 4 times in the past couple of weeks. And I realized, I checked myself the other day. I was like, I have too many like SP focused affirmations here. There's too much about this person. I need to take like these out. And once I did that, I was like, man, these affirmations are so much better. Like I'm smiling doing them. I'm recorded them. So even with not having like the personal coaching, I think it might be just a personal thing or how if you're ready to like really change and check yourself. I still have been able to kind of coach myself through certain things. Even with a course that you're doing on your own. So I think that's really important too, because people, you don't want to feel like you're alone or you can't really ask certain questions, which is true. And there's a huge value to coaching, and I'm going to be doing that next. But if you're really ready to like really change, the course will allow you to like go back, check yourself, make sure this feels right. Is this working? That kind of thing. So I think that's really important too.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that if you just tell them what to do in a course, it's a certain type of person that's good with a course. If you like courses and you like knowledge and you like education and that's able to give you confidence, I definitely recommend courses because they're wonderful. Obviously, whoever you resonate with, go for it. I like my courses and I like the way that I have my business. I know that prices are on the higher end. I have a higher ticket business, but that's because I'm a high ticket business. But when it comes to that type of scenario, the reason I like my business this way is because I'm the type of person that wants the maximum amount of information, education, and or a personalized touch or coaching calls. Like I want the whole enchilada type of package. I want the whole kitchen sink. And so I could probably tomorrow like close all these really expensive courses and make a 4-page study guide, but that's not going to actually be what you need to be successful, nor am I going to be happy selling it. Like, I don't believe selling you a piece or a crumb. I want to give you 10 pies. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to give everything and more. And so the price has to reflect that, because I can't sell something like that for like $20, $99 or anything like that. Like, that's just not possible. So the only way for me to really create a cheap product is like to take out 80% of the information, and I just refuse to do that. I prefer to give you 100% of the information, 200% of the information, and for you to have almost too much rather than not enough. So when it comes, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just saying also there's meditations that they're like the most beautiful meditations.
I almost forgot about that.
Oh yeah, there's a tapping session.
Yeah, there is.
That's amazing. There's 2 meditations on one video, and they're so beautiful. Like, I was like, this girl is special. And you kind of like channel, like and the reason why Persis even reached out to me is because she was saying she was having a hard time behind the scenes, and she was very vulnerable. And when I read that on her Facebook, I was like, are you serious, girl? Like, you should be like a billionaire. Like, there should literally be like no other coaches, because like there's no way you should be feeling like you shouldn't be in a room or anything. Because I can tell BS from a mile away.
Yeah.
And I can feel it. And just going through your YouTube, like your videos, you can tell how special you are and the skill, because it takes a certain skill to teach just anything for people, in order for people to understand it, get it, and apply it. Like you said, it is not easy to teach, and it's actually very, very rare skill to have, and you have it, and you definitely picked up like a kind of a complex subject, to be honest, and it can be complex for a lot of people, but to make it to where people can understand it, feel it, and it's almost like you're in our brains.
Yeah, I love
like
it.
Thought of everything. Yeah, so I just like really appreciate your skill and that you are so thorough. Like, this is the kind of person that I want to learn from.
Well, I appreciate that. That's like so sweet to hear, because at the end of the day, I swear, I have a lot of people that love me, but they're not very vocal about their love. So I'm like, I hope people are vibing with what I'm putting out here, because I rarely see like comments or communication or feedback. I don't know. I need to, I guess, figure out how to make content that's more engaging, because maybe people are just so into the information. Like I'm not like really I'm not a person that, I guess you can say, oopsies, has videos that has like a ton of comments. And so I don't have a lot of engagement. I don't have a lot of feedback. I don't have a lot of that. And maybe I need to learn how to make different types of content rather than just sitting and just speaking to the camera like your, college professor. Maybe I need more of a personality, because I made one vulnerable post and now all of a sudden I'm getting like comments from people I've never heard of or spoken to ever in my life. I was like, okay, maybe that's a sign I need to make more content like that. But it's hysterical.
Don't you dare ever feel like you're not ready for your next stage. Like, I guess your feedback is your success stories, because
true,
that's like the ultimate feedback. I would think so.
True.
Yeah. And it's funny because I've never commented on any of your stuff, and I've seen probably 100 of your videos.
Yeah.
At the time, so it is kind of funny. Yeah, we just kind of listen, and we're like, okay, let me go do this.
I'm like your favorite podcast, but I don't hear from anyone. So It's nice. It's nice. Although, I teach that we should not need validation, and I stand by it. But, listen, talk to your girl. Like, I'm not going to bite you. I swear. Like, I like a good compliment too. Like, I'm a words of affirmation girly. Like, talk to me. You know what I mean? And so, I love this. I love this so much. I think the beauty of when it comes to manifestation is I have a natural passion for it. Like, I really just love investing in myself and also investing in other high-level mentors to keep me at my peak game. Like, I personally have the goals and desires and aspirations that nobody's going to out-knowledge me. There's not going to be anyone that knows more about this topic, is more devoted to this topic, being at the top of her game for this topic, or facilitating more success than me on this topic. When I am interested in something, I go all the way in. I have a very obsessive personality when it comes to that, which is great if you want to be successful, because success requires obsession, in my opinion. And that's what I think people feel, is they feel my ferocity, they feel my passion, they feel a little bit of maybe even the intensity of, I've oftentimes been given feedback that I have confidence in this because you give me confidence. And they're like, nobody's going to toss anything at you and you don't got like nothing to say about it. She's like, no matter what question you've been tossed at, and you've been tossed every question known to man, you've never fumbled in anything. Like, you have a knowledge that is just on a different level. And that's like the highest compliment for me, because I really pride myself on my education. And that's the education that I want to share with you guys. Education, I believe, is the key to success. I wish we learned this in schools. I wish I could teach this in colleges. I think that it's very important. But, hey, I made a manifestation university if you want to come and enroll in that. And I'm going to be teaching you all kinds of things. So I think that'll be really, really fun. I want to ask, are there any pieces of advice you have for individuals that have been stuck when it comes to manifesting their desires? Whether that means like they're manifesting like love, money, health, like, do you have any pieces of advice based on you being like an insider in this program of how, the self-concept piece, for those of you guys who don't know, really is the key to success no matter what you're doing, because it is the foundation and how you get, in many instances, 90 to 95% of real, tangible results in your reality. Yeah. And so I want you to, maybe speak to that a little bit of how powerful the self-concept has been, maybe just in your movement, in your overall confidence, self-love, like in just whatever areas it has positively impacted.
I think for me, I've had an issue with being consistent, and the fact that I've literally had a routine for 3 weeks of doing affirmations, tapping, meditation every day. And even when I was still maybe not believing certain things, and it's really personal. You honestly I know nobody wants to hear this, but you just kind of have to be ready. Yeah. You have to be ready to work, and you have to be ready to believe in yourself. And if that's something that you don't know how to do, then make it an affirmation. Believe in yourself, which is something I have in mind. You just have to be ready. And I had to get over me trying to manifest things and wanting them right away, which I know I can. But if you have to I'm also a bit of control freak. So I had to literally have an affirmation saying I need to loosen my grip on the things that I want. And I need to make sure I'm good first. I have to make sure I believe these things. I can't want somebody to be consistent with me if I'm not consistent with myself.
Yeah, that's huge.
I can't have someone, I've had issues, men ghosting me. Mm-hmm. I ghost myself. I quit things because they're and not because I don't love them, I just quit them.
Yeah.
And of course I get that type of, now I have the power to change that. Everything that negative has happened to me, I've turned into an affirmation and things I'm focusing on. Maybe that's probably why, because I really just took my ego out of it, and I said, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do what she says. I'm going to check myself. I want something different.
Please do what I say. Please do what I say.
I can't keep living the way I'm living. I'm not.
I know what I'm talking about. I swear.
Now. Yeah. I'm not in a bad place. I didn't come heartbroken or just down and out. I'm okay right now, but I want better. I want to thrive.
Yeah.
So that's where I am.
A queen,
so I know it's a little tougher for people in certain situations with marriages and stuff that come in, and
they got
God
all
bless
these
it.
circumstances and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
just in
so
a
it's like,
place where your life should look so much better than what it does, and you're like, you just kind of had one of those moments of like, I want to kind of like really understand why I'm a good person, I have a good heart, I have a good soul, but why is no area of my life working out? Once again, I relate to that so huge because my whole life, up to the age of like, I don't know, 25, 26, maybe. I'm not really good with time, so don't quote me on that. I'm terrible when it comes to that. But like my whole life, I had just been like such a good person to so many people, but I had been lied to. I'd been stabbed in the back by friends. I had been abandoned. I had been betrayed. There had been people who had stolen from us, scammed us, cheated us out of money, tens of thousands of dollars, like debt. It's like we just really didn't understand. Like we're such good people. Like why do things like this happen to us? And when I started to learn about law of attraction, law of assumption, teachings, and principles, I feel like I take a middle ground to both of them because I feel like there's validity in both of them. And it's not that I don't think that anything doesn't work. It's just that after speaking to thousands and thousands of people and knowing such intimate details inside of people's scenarios and situations, I just, I want to stay away from some topics and I want to embrace and be vocal about others. But truly, there's no limitation to what you can achieve as long as you have the power of your mind and the power of your thoughts. Another beautiful thing she mentioned is that plans are the key to success in many people's instances. That's why, she has a routine, she has a structure. And I remember one of the things she even commented in my Facebook group was like, something along the lines of, I've been in your program for about 2 weeks and I finally have been able to stick to a manifestation routine because this is her first form of a manifestation routine. Along with, her therapist said she needs to come in half the amount of times. She's also gotten to the bottom of a lot of self-concept issues she had never even been educated about that was even important. I like to think of self-concept or manifestation as a whole as building a house. When you build a house, your foundation is the key to success. If you have a cracked foundation, you're not going nowhere, you're not getting anything. And so if you are not aware of self-concept, or if you follow people who don't really think it's that important, do you and believe whatever you want. I know that all the people, the thousands and thousands of people that are over here on this page have changed their lives with potentially this or one other trick. There is really two main keys or codes to the universe that allows you to kind of hack reality in your favor in any aspect of your life. And those are the two things that I put in the equation, and self-concept is one of them. Self-concept is something you can learn about on my page, and on all my pages I encourage you to go stalk it. But a lot of the times, one of the things I want to specify is how many times have people also been frustrated on how some people will come on these lives and they'll teach and preach affirmations and, affirming was their way to get success. But every time you do it, it doesn't work. Or visualizing was their key to success. But when you do it, it doesn't work. Scripting was their key to success, but you doing it didn't work. That's because there's a way to do each and every single technique. You can't just do the technique because there's no magic in the actual technique. The thing is that I'm going to go back to what my dad said. We quoted my great-grandfather. Now I'm going to quote my father. That it's doing something is one thing, but doing it correctly is another. And that's how there are some people who have been affirming for years, but have never actually changed any aspect of their life. There have been people that have been meditating for God knows how long, but their life is still disappointing in the areas they want to improve. It's because the accuracy of the technique matters. Techniques are just vehicles. They're just vehicles on the road to success, but just doing them empty without the understanding, intentionality, and the correct application and format matter in the overarching picture of being able to be successful, because a technique has no magic in it. There's no power in it, but a technique is designed and created to be able to help you change, release, and rewire new programmings into your brain. into your subconscious. The whole purpose of techniques is to help you change your assumptions, to help you change your beliefs, to help you change your expectations, to rewire your nervous system so that you can be successful. And that's how there are some people that have been affirming. I'll give you an example. I'll even use myself. I'll throw myself under the bus because I don't have any shame in it. I mentioned earlier, I had been manifesting for 3 years. 3 years with creators. I had empty hands to show for it. I had nothing to show for it. If I was to ask myself a fair and honest question, and I want to ask people in the chat who are willing to do this very difficult question I'm about to say, is if you were to gauge yourself of when you came into manifestation, how many years ago approximately have you dipped your toe into that water? Have you found out about manifestation or spirituality or science, whatever it is, like in the past 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Like, I'm curious to see kind of what everyone says. And if you want to give me how much time it's been for you, I'd also love to understand.
Well, I told you I was a little older, so
I do.
Basically when the secret came out.
Okay, so that was a while back. When did The Secret come out? I'm going to Google it right now.
More than a decade ago.
More than a decade. Okay. You got a cool 10 years under your belt. 2006 is what I've got here. Okay, that makes sense. So I see some people saying, I see some people saying 4 years, 1 year, all these different things. So, and a decade. So this is the tough question that I had to ask myself, because after year 3, I was pissed. I'm not going to lie to you. I was pissed. I was like, what is going on? Why is this not working for me? I just don't get it. I was doubting myself. I had the imposter syndrome, post that she commented about. I was like, I don't understand why what I'm doing is not good enough. I just don't get it. What are these other people getting that I'm not getting? Because I feel like I know more than some coaches out here, but I can't get a result to save my life, to save my freaking life. And so when it came to this situation, I was like, okay, Persis, you have a very smart brain. Let's go back to the basics. Technically, when it comes to manifestation, our only job is to change our beliefs, change our assumptions. On day 1, when I can think of way back then, what were some of the beliefs that I had that were limiting? And then I'd list them out. And then I'd say, okay, well, in today's day and age, did I change any of those beliefs in 3 years period of time? Like, have I actually changed any beliefs where I have a reason to be upset? I have a justification to be upset. And when I looked back at the beliefs I had then, I actually had the same beliefs 3 years later, to which case I got even more pissed off. And I was like, what the F have I been doing this whole time? Because why is it that I'm watching every video, I'm learning every technique, but nothing is changing? And it's because my beliefs didn't change. My beliefs didn't change. Having videos and watching things is one thing, but the actual job is to change your beliefs. So the people in the comments that said 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4, like Dr. Seuss, Doctor Who, like a Dr. Seuss freaking book, like, has any of you guys changed the beliefs? Because it's like, that's what's required of us. And that's just so crazy that when we think about that, when we think about, oh, I've been doing this for this period of time, but did you change your beliefs?
Yeah.
I
have to tell you, something just came up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Even with that last coach, in this person's videos, they say, oh, you don't have to do any work. And
what?
I was like, okay, that's interesting, but you say the opposite. And I was like, okay, she's making more sense. So the work is you doing the affirmations and the other things on a daily basis, and it's like the not so sexy part. It's like the sexy part is looking at the videos and seeing people's success stories. That's the sexy part. The not so sexy part is me in my pajamas doing
crying my eyes out.
With like crushing my eyes and not brush my teeth.
With my pint of ice cream. Watching Love is Blind.
Are you in my life right now? So, like, the not sexy part is the actual, like, you getting sitting your butt down and doing the like literally like saying beautiful, wonderful things to yourself and telling yourself that you're wonderful and that this is going to work. Like and that actually should be the sexy part. That should be your the thing you're focused on. That's what's working for me right now.
Is like it.
I'm happy to do the routine and be consistent. And my routine is like, I might do it at night. I might do it in the middle of the day. I might do it in the car. Like, so it's not like I'm strict with myself. Like, I have to do it at 8 a.m. in the morning because I know I'm not going to stick to that. But my routine is like, I need to do at least 2 or 3 things today.
Yeah.
And at some point. So I just wanted to say that too, is like, the videos are the sexy part, but the work is like you really pouring into yourself,
getting to the nitty gritty stuff. And that's the thing. It's like one of the things I even like about my mentors is like they help me see gaps that I don't really see, or sometimes even I see the gaps but I struggle to shift them myself, even in today's like day and my level of knowledge and proficiency. It's like at the end of the day, I recently discovered like 3 limiting beliefs that are attached to the 3 main areas of my life that I'm trying to shift this year. And I was like, man, imagine when I shift that, like things are going to go bananas. Like things are going to go bananas, like Gwen Stefani bananas. And I'm just like so excited to see how things shift. We're always shifting. And there's ways, guys, for some of the comments down below. There are a lot of different ways to change beliefs. It's surprisingly simple, but the amount of time it takes one person to change a belief can be different for someone else. There's a lot of different co-creating factors when it comes to a belief. As an example, do you know what your limiting beliefs are? That's the first step. If you're not able to kind of find your own blind spots, the only way you can really solve that, in my opinion, is going to someone to have them point them out to you. Because a lot of times we aren't self-aware, or even if we are, we just still haven't been able to shift it for years. Like when I hired my person who helps me, like, I know I'm very self-aware, but I still struggle to shift some things. And so that's where sometimes like getting a program, getting coaching, capitalizing on MU or the self-concept experience, depending on your budget, is going to be so huge. And it really is the next game changer for a lot of people, because self-concept is the key to success. Self-concept is the key to success. Changing your beliefs. I have one video on this. I think I have a couple of videos actually on this page, but one of them hit, I think, over 3,000 comments of people getting results in under 24 hours. I pride myself on the ability for people to get fast results. But remember, as I said before, it's with their co-participation. No one that's worked with me got a result in 24 hours or less by continuing to sing the same song, same dance, same tune of the old BS. Because your new life, it's going to cost you your old one. Your new life and your results are going to cost you the complaints that you have and the poor self-talk that you have and just the complaints that you have on a day-to-day basis about your situation. Your new life is going to cost you your bad habits. Are you willing to give up what's making you sick to be on the other side of everything you've ever wanted? Because I can't have a self-talk or a belief system that says money is hard and then wonder why I don't have $1 million in my bank account. Like, to me, that makes a lot of logical sense. Like, those are literally opposites of each other. So think of your beliefs as either welcoming in more pleasure and joy or blocking you from everything you've ever wanted. And the problem with humans and human nature and human psychology in general is having to do with the fact that humans are naturally pessimistic because they are primed for an evolutionary standpoint. Your brain speaks in stories and in meanings, and the problem is our lives are comprised of both the good stories and the bad stories that we internalized based on how events happened and transpired in our lives. And so your good stories positively benefit you. Think of the areas of your life, you guys, where life is going well, and ask yourself, what are the beliefs you have around that area? Probably that area is easy, that things work out, that they always figure out a way to work out. But think about the areas that are not going good. Humans are a compilation of both the good and the bad of the belief systems, of the stories. Humans are story-making machines. We do it primitively. This is our brain. This is neuroscience. We do it primitively. It's something that we are literally wired to do because we have to create stories to keep us safe. And humans are creatures of habit. You ever had a really positive thought and honestly an alarm bell went off because you're like, that thought is way too positive for me? The way that you've been thinking today actually comes from the way that you've been thinking for the past 10 years. And that's why sometimes when you say positive stuff, it doesn't go in because your brain's like, nah, I don't believe that BS. I don't believe that story. And so when it comes to this situation, remember that your positive stories positively benefit your life. The areas of your life that are going good, if you were to sit and pause and reflect for a few minutes, you've got all good stories there. And even those aspects that are going good, but they have small minor things that are off, you'll find that the beliefs that are limiting to that area match where it's going off. Same thing for the negative. The areas of your life that are not going good, ask yourself, what are the beliefs you have? It's a laundry list of negativity. It's a laundry list of negativity. You've got bullet point after bullet point. You can put it into a freaking PowerPoint presentation. And that's why your areas of your life are not going the way that you want. That's the only reason. It's got nothing to do with God hating you, the universe hating you, you being like the unlucky one. Has everything to do with just your mind. Your beliefs are magnets. They're going to pull the good to you, and they're also going to pull the bad to you. And that's why it's important to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because our self-concept and the stories that we tell ourselves literally determine the quality of our life and if we're ever going to be in a scenario to get this to go good. Whether you do this work now, whether you do this work 10 years from now, you'll still have to do the work eventually. It'll not be something that you can run away from unless you're willing to lie down and accept how your life looks. You know what I mean? Like things aren't going to magically, like you're not going to be walking down the road and one day an apple bops you on the head and all of a sudden things start working out at age 56. Like success is created consciously. It's created consciously with self-awareness and with, discipline and consistency. And so when it comes to these types of scenarios, you've got to either really be educated on how to do it all yourself, which you'd kind of just need to have a coach's background and go into educating yourself and, getting yourself there, or relying on people and or mentors that you know and trust that can educate you or give you the answer key to your success, like how we do in these programs, like how we do in coaching. So I really love this live. I feel like it's been so good. It's been so powerful. I don't see any other questions in the comments. Is there anything else you'd like to leave us with before I let you go? I appreciate your time that you've taken out today to come and speak to us regarding this. I can't wait for more and more success to come for you. And who knows, maybe we do a round 2.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for it. Like this year is gonna be amazing.
Epic.
And I can say that without like a doubt in my head. When I said that, and I know I wouldn't have been able to say that before. I want to thank you for having, like I said, a beautiful brain and putting yourself out there, because I know it's not easy to do, and for educating us and for doing all the work you and your family do. So it's really just, thank you, and I'm so happy I found you. Yeah.
We're trying to do the Lord's work, as always.
You're doing it. Everybody listening, you just got to be ready to like get your head out of your butt, like she said. Like the first video I saw, that's really.
The first video she saw a video of me going on a rampage of being like, you got to get your head out of your ass. And she's like, now she's here on a live of mine being like, listen, we started from the bottom, now we here type of scenario. Like, we started from getting our heads out of our asses and now we're here. And I love it. I love it because discipline is an act of radical self-love. And I do want to say that. I want to end on that. It's like self-love. If you can't keep these promises to yourself, if you can't be disciplined to yourself for your own benefit, for the own benefit of the life that you're living, no one's going to be able to improve your life for you other than you. You're the one that's in charge of your own happiness. And I always prioritize, and I'm never going to be stingy on things that are going to allow me to be happy. I need to be happy in order to be successful. I need to be happy. And so do the things that make you happy. Educate yourself regarding this process, or if you guys are interested, you can always, email me, anything like that. You want to get into any of the offers that are happening for March right now. I have a 50% off sale on 2 of my main things, and I just love you guys so much. I will let you go, my love, and thank you so much for coming on. I will see you in the next one.
All right, bye.
Thank you. How nice was that? She was so fun. I feel like I'm warm. I don't know why. I get heated up when I start to coach and when I start to teach. If you guys are interested in any of the offers we're doing for March, due to the fact that we've gotten another 1,000 success stories, I'm doing a big give back like type of thing for my community. It's 50% off of my personal coaching. The prices have already been adjusted, so you can just check out immediately. There's no additional 50. I've already price adjusted. So you can grab and hop into my coaching for the month of March for half off, as well as I'm bringing back Manifestation University. You're literally learning the science, I'm going to pull it up, of manifestation to be able to transform your life and learn how to manifest fast. When I say fast, I'm talking about I teach people how to manifest what they want in 90 days or less. So that is super important. I believe that anything can happen in 90 days. And I think that as long as you're coming in with your head down, ready to work, everyone in my space has gotten success in under 90 days. So I have here, I'm just going to read to you the thing about MU. It says, when you understand how manifestation works, you have the power to easily and effortlessly create your dream life. Change can happen instantly, no waiting required. And when it comes to that situation, where did you learn that? The 90-day rule? That's my thing. So if you're at a rock bottom 0, Shara, if I'm saying that correctly, and if you just focus on getting 1% better daily for 90 days, you're 90% better. In any law that you practice, whether it's law of attraction or law of assumption, 90% better in 90 days literally produces your result, because that's way above, beyond, and more dominant assumptions or dominant expectations. So if you don't have results in 90 days, it usually means some part of your education, application, personalized touch, discipline, or consistency is off. Until that changes, nothing's going to change. In many of these instances, like the consistency, the application, the discipline, the personalized touch, all these fun things, the education, get solved in coaching and programs. That's how things tend to work, unless you want to go towards the education route and do what I did and become your own coach and learn all the knowledge and do it yourself. But change can happen instantly, no waiting required. I pride myself on this because people in my space have set records in how quickly they have gotten things. And I don't want you to put me on a pedestal because of that. I'm just saying that I love to debunk the fact that there are people out there that actually believe it takes a long time to create a result. No, it doesn't. My page is literally walking proof. It's literally walking proof. Even if it's impossible. Well, if it's impossible to you, then my piece of guidance for you is to just give up and move on to the next thing. But it's not because it's actually impossible, it's because you have a limitation. Because when it comes to the law, there's no circumstance, there's no distance, there's no time, there's no anything that actually prevents you from being successful. The only thing that screws with any coach's success rate is you doing the work, because you can be in the greatest $10,000 coaching package. She can tell you or he can tell you exactly what you need to do, but if you don't do it, nobody can help you. And so the only thing that blocks coaches from having 100% success rate is the fact that the client has to take full radical responsibility and ownership, because the coach cannot go into your mind and cannot make you do what you need to do. They cannot go into your mind and reprogram your mind for you. So when it comes to the situation, if you're trying to manifest a person, place, or thing, there's no such thing as impossible. There literally isn't. There's just you have a limitation in your mind to see the situation better. Because the law of gravity, the law of physics, quantum physics, it all works the same. Let's say you're trying to manifest a person just for the hell of it, just to give a really solid, concrete example. But it's impossible. But he left me. But he cheated on me with the neighbor's cat. Whatever it is, I don't care. The thing is, if physics works for everyone, that's like saying the law of gravity doesn't work for your person. And all I'm trying to say is that I've not seen your person floating recently. I've not seen them floating. Do they float for a living? No, they don't. So, it's not impossible. It's just that there are some people with some desires that they have a personal limitation. I'll give you another example. I worked with a gentleman out of Dubai, the UAE. Over there, in case you're not aware, very orthodox. He attracted a woman, got into coaching. She later cheated on him without him knowing. He found out in the middle of coaching. He came back to me and said, I don't want her anymore. I said, why? He said, because I don't care what manifestation routine you give me. I've her differently from here on out. And I don't want to waste my time and my investment that I've paid for coaching to waste it on her. I don't care if I caused it, and I don't care if I didn't cause it. The fact is, at the end of the day, it is important for me to focus on what I know I can mentally get behind. I will never be able to see her better. I lost respect for her in that moment. I don't care if I caused it. I don't care if I didn't. I don't want to work on her anymore. I said huge respect for you for knowing that you have a limitation, because there's no limitation other than the person. Think about it. You don't have to try to manifest the negative in your life. You just have programmings and beliefs that are in the negative. And due to the fact that beliefs are magnets, it draws negative towards you. But when you deprogram the negative, you don't have to always be positive. You don't have to always be positive. I'm not always positive, and yet I still get what I want. My clients are not always positive. They still get what they want. At the end of the day, it has to do with deprogramming the negativity, reprogramming the positivity. I have days where I cry. I still get what I want. My clients have days where they cry. They still get what they want, because the dominant underlying programming is in a favorable direction. The problem is with many people who are not getting tangible results in the areas that they desire, it's because their dominant programming is not actually favorable. And you're not going to be able to get anything if it's not favorable, because the law will never exempt you. Whether you want to do the work today, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the law is the law, the work is the work, and the work just needs doing. It'll never be able to be something that you can run away from. It'll just be something that you can delay. And that's fine. And if you're not, and the thing is, not everybody needs to do the work. Some people don't have desires to improve certain areas of their life, and that's okay. That's also okay. That's totally, totally, totally okay. Is your one-on-one coaching on sale? Yes. The pricing is on the website. You can just go and sign up for the next available and hop in. But when it comes to Manifestation University, I'm just going to say this quickly because I've got to get on another coaching call. It is a 2-month program. It is half off. It is the best program you're ever going to enroll in your whole life. It gives you the manifestation equation, and you're going to be with me for 8 weeks. 8 weeks, you're going to get a call with me, a group coaching call with me every single week for 8 weeks. You're also going to have a 24/7 group chat to be able to have access to me at any given point in time for 2 whole months outside of the coaching calls, so that you can share wins, post questions, and ask about anything outside of the call. On top of that, you're going to get the entire Manifestation University course, and you're going to be able to keep it for life as your gift for joining. For the month of March, I have brought it in because I've been recently getting a lot of success, and I want to pay it back to my community by offering it at half off. I am not bringing it back half off ever again. So if someone thinks that when it comes to the scenario, this might be available later, I want to be very clear, it won't be. It won't be, it won't be, it won't be. I know the value, the content, and the types of shifts that have come from this program. As I've said, the money ones, 3 billion, 1 million, 5 million, 6 million, 200K, 60K, 90K. I know the health success stories, HIV, cancer, autoimmune. I know the love success stories, people getting engaged, people getting married, people reconciling with their husbands, people manifesting in their soulmates. I know the power of what I teach, and I know that I do it very, very well. This is my way of giving back and allowing more opportunities for individuals to come into this type of program and receive and reap benefits. But I want to be very clear. If you come into this program, you don't show up for calls, and you don't do a dang thing, do not expect for me to be able to go into your subconscious mind and save you. Not only can I not save you, no one can save you. You have to take radical self-accountability for your situation. You are your own person. Take accountability, come in, but understand that I'm going to give you the answer key to how to have your desire fast. Your only job, do what I say. Like a teacher and a student, just follow the instructions. Do what I say. Do what I say. I'm going to give you the answer key to your manifestation exam, because we're in Manifestation University. Your only job is to memorize the answer key and do it. This is going to be your new Bible. You're going to do it day in, you're going to do it day out, all day as much as possible. If you do that, there is no reason why you're not going to get results in a week, in 10 days, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, in a month, in the 90 days. The only time people come through this program and they're not wildly successful is if they're doing the work over here and then looking at the 3D over here. And they're doing the work over here, and then they're spiraling over here. And then they're doing the work over here, and they're not showing up to the calls over here, and they're not using me, and they're not asking me questions, and they're not doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. Come in ready to do the work. And I assure you, it's impossible to not be successful. But I can spot when someone doesn't do their work. Because if you do the work, you're going to see movement really, really quickly. And I know whether you're doing it or not. It's kind of like fitness. You know, even though the fitness trainer can't spy on you and have a camera in your house to see what you're eating, they can give you the plan. But if after you do the fitness routine, you go and have an all-you-can-eat Krispy Kreme donut buffet, that coach can't save you. That coach can't save you. No one can save you. It's just your discipline and bad habits. That's the only thing that's going to keep you stuck. And I'm going to be there with you. I'm going to be supporting you. I'm going to be coaching you. I'm going to be setting you up for success to where the only thing you need to do is to just do what I'm saying. Just please do what I'm saying. And I promise only good can come from it. What if God doesn't want what I'm trying to manifest? That doesn't exist, because God gives you more of what you believe. It's in the Bible. God gives you more more of what you believe. The problem is what you believe is not favorable. And so God has limitations, because God can't save you when you're in, as terrible as it is to say, a pity party. God couldn't save me when I actually just didn't change my beliefs for 3 years. Even God couldn't save me, even though he probably wanted to. But when I changed my beliefs, my whole life changed in 30 days. My whole life changed in 60 days, and my life got even greater in 90 days. If you want the link to the coaching or Manifestation University, send me an email at manifestwithpersis@gmail.com. manifestwithpersis@gmail.com. Send an email over. Another thing you can do is, if you need a payment plan, grab a strategy call in the link in the bio. You'll be able to talk to my mom, who is also one of our coaches, and she will get you hooked up. She can also inform you about the plan and make sure that you're a good fit. I love you guys. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You smell nice. I will repost this over on my YouTube page. Go give a follow there. Watch the recent live success story that came literally just 2 days ago. And I will see you guys in the